This week in Edmunds Live, I'm joined by Mike McGrath, Scott Oldham, Aaron Riches, and making it truly Edmunds Live, Dan Edmunds. One of the stories we dealt with this week was we own a Tesla Model S, and we found an interesting problem with its tires. And we suspect that other owners are having the same problem. So Dan, explain what is going on with our Tesla.
Well, the short version is 9,550 miles in, and the rear tires are junk. We thought we just had a low tire warning. You know, the TPMS light came on, losing little air. John put some air in them. Everything looked okay from what you can see from the wheel well. And next morning they're low again. This time he really checked them out, and steel cord showing all the way around on the inside.
It would be hard to notice.
Well, you can't really, you have to kind of get under there, but yeah.
Low.
So anyway, took it to the Tesla service center. They put it on the alignment rack. Tires are supposed to be towed in about 3/16 of an inch. They were towed out about 3/8, which is a ton. And with that amount of camber, it just kind of scrapes the inside of the tire off, and they didn't have a chance.
Apparently we're not the only people.
Yeah, John found a couple of instances on the forums, people chatting about it. And I think you know somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah, a friend of mine's father-in-law has a car, and I notified him, check your rear tires, you might have a problem. And sure enough, he had the exact same wear. So he went and bought tires, but I'm going to have to tell him to check his alignment because he's just going to eat through them real quick if he doesn't fix that.
That seems to be the deal. And so I'm going to put paint marks on our eccentric cam bolts to make sure that they don't move, and we'll see what happens.
Dan, considering the wear across the face of the tire, if we didn't have that shift in alignment, tires would still be good and would have thousands of miles left in them, right?
Yeah, if you look at the pictures, the wear is fairly even. I mean, it's a little bit more on the inside than the outside because the negative camber was kind of at the upper limit, but nothing unusual. And then suddenly something took a turn for the worse, and it wasn't there all the time. It happened fairly recently.
And you're confirming that this is not for me and Scott doing burnouts.
I've never done a burnout in that car.
No,
what's
it's
a
awesome.
burnout?
It's super easy.
Let's go to our social media minute. Let's bring in Claire on Skype.
Hey guys, so I have a question posted on YouTube from user THWhip. And they ask, if you guys had 20K, okay, maybe 22K tops to buy a new car, what would you buy?
If I'm in that price range, Honda Fit.
Okay.
I'd probably buy like an 06 Mercedes E55 sedan.
Okay.
Ooh. I don't know. I think I can't get a Scion for that, can I?
Well, I think you can't get a Scion.
A Scion FRS?
Not the one you want.
No, not the one I want.
The next B.
I didn't know we could go used.
Have that.
Used opens up a whole new world.
Well, I'm getting a new Mazda 3, or if I'm going used, I'm going to look at 3 Series.
So I have another question on YouTube from user Tree Nizzles. They want to know, what song makes you want to drive fast?
That's a cool question.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Aaron?
Anything by Tool, like maybe Vicarious. Of course.
You're looking at me?
I am looking at you.
Oh,
that's right.
Steppenwolf, Born to be Wild.
Good one.
I have history with that. Driving fast.
The theme song from Cannonball Run.
Rounding this out, Jay-Z and Rihanna, Run This Town.
I'm going to go ZZ Top, Sharp Dressed Man.
No other questions for this week, but we want to hear from you. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to submit your questions there. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Claire. Let's move on to our second topic. My British counterpart, Alistair Weaver, was over in England at the Porsche Experience Center, having what looks like a hell of a lot of fun. But more importantly for us, we are getting one here in Los Angeles, and folks out down south will be getting one in Atlanta. How excited are we about that?
I'm excited. This is going to be a cool thing. I was at the Porsche's facility in Silverstone, England, which is where Alistair went and did his story. I spent the day there in July. It is beyond cool. Everything is state of the art. The exercises, the way the instructors deal with you. They got 80 cars, new, old, Cayennes, Panameras, you name it, GT3s, whatever you want to drive.
Sounds great.
you know, if you're someone that is going to want to buy a Porsche, it's going to make sense to go to the facility, spend a day, try the different cars, try things like carbon brakes, feel the differences, feel the different tires, and then make a truly educated choice on your car. The one they're building down the freeway here in California is going to be twice as big as the facility at Silverstone too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's no small animal, so
Wow.
it's really going to be a cool deal. And the one they're building in Atlanta is going to be their U.S. headquarters, full museum, race shop, the whole deal. So I'm looking forward to it. It's still about a year away, but I drove by it this morning, in fact, and there's bulldozers moving,
Yeah.
so it's going to be pretty cool.
I think it's neat that it's actually going to be sort of within a city. I mean, it's not in Los Angeles, it's in Carson or whatever, but that's still a very urban area and
Absolutely.
it's easy to get to.
And obviously, when you look at the high-volume Porsche dealers that surround this place, Orange County, you know, up here, even the San Francisco stores, Las Vegas, that kind of thing, it's going to be a major hub for anything automotive in the South.
Fly into
Southwest.
LAX and you're there.
You're there in minutes.
Yeah, shuttle
Exactly.
bus.
That,
Or a high-speed train.
right.
They're going to have to put some plants along there, though, because 405 freeway is going to be full of rubberneckers because you can see it from
You can-
any lane.
Right now, you can see it.
Absolutely.
That's true. It is right next to the freeway, which is pretty cool.
But traffic's already stopped often in that point.
Yeah, I
so
guess
you
it
just
does.
look
you
over
something to
there.
watch.
Yeah.
I want to go pretend to be a Porsche customer just to go try out that kick plate.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I
Yeah.
know.
So
I know
cool.
Dan's,
You saw it in the
Dan's
video?
driven one before,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
just wet pavement, and then
Yeah.
you drive
Oh, yeah.
40 miles an hour across a belt that kicks your car one way or another, and you just got to use the
You'd
CD
be
pins
lucky
to
to
figure
catch
it
it
out.
at 40. I did it at, I think, 33 miles an hour, and it's really hard to catch. And their experts can kind of approach 40. It's tough. It's cool.
And they put the engine in the wrong place, so that's even more fun.
Well, let's get to our lightning round, everyone. Dan, you drove the new diesel-powered Ram 1500.
I did.
Is that the engine you'd get?
Yes, absolutely. The torque is immense, and the fuel economy is really good as well. I got 26 miles per gallon on our evaluation loop, and I'm seeing 22 and 23 with a city and freeway mix when I'm not paying attention. I mean, it's really going to be efficient and strong.
Mike, this is a story that was in the news this week. Do you think the government should require rear-view cameras in cars?
I'm usually not a fan of government intervention, especially in cars, but this one doesn't do anything detrimental to the handling or performance of the cars. It's going to be about $200 per car. Adds a nice safety net and unbundles rear view cameras. Currently, if you want a rear view camera on a number of cars, you have to add a sunroof, nav, leather.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a problem.
It's
Yeah.
there. It's going to add $200. Why not?
Aaron, Volvo has replaced the turbocharged inline-6 in its front-drive S60 T6 with a turbocharged and supercharged inline-4. Was it a good move?
Yes and no. It's kind of. I can tell you're about to say something mean.
Didn't say anything.
They had to do something. Fuel economy regulations are tightening, and they needed to minimize the complexity of the cars they build. So they came up with this all four-cylinder engine strategy. And this top T6, which has the supercharger and the turbocharger, you get a good response, you know, right off the line, and the passing power seemed good. It's just the engine doesn't have a lot of personality. I think they're still working on it, but right now there's a lot of supercharger whine, and that's what you hear. And otherwise, it's a pretty soulless four-cylinder engine.
Scott, our new lime rock green Corvette is being presently driven across the country as we speak.
Yes, it is.
Where are you going to drive it first?
In and out, Berg?
Fair enough.
I got nothing for you. That's all I got.
You're just hungry, aren't you?
I'm kind of hungry.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you next week on Edmunds Live.